necessary step to keep the veterans it serves safe. The VA said each employee will have 8 weeks to fully be vaccinated. We're mandating vaccines for Title 38 employees because it's the best way to keep veterans safe, especially as the Delta variant spreads across the country, McDonough said on Monday. Whenever a veteran or VA employee sets foot in a VA facility, they deserve to know that we've done everything in our power to protect them from COVID-19. You know, the irony of this is how long has the VA just run a system that's been terrible medical services? Terrible. And yet now they're all of a sudden, we want to make sure you got the best. You got the very best because we're making sure everybody is going to be vaccinated. Now, you won't be able to get in to see them for another 6.5 months, no matter what your emergency is. And even then, we might have to delay your appointment. But they'll be vaccinated. And this is all about your health. We're so excited about, so worried about your health. It's our duty to only offer you the best. And by the way, do I need to remind anybody that these vaccines are still not FDA approved? But you have to get them. Just the News, that's John Solomon's news service, got an interesting piece out today. The FBI is being rocked by illicit office romances, workplace harassment, and other such sexcapades. You know, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first? Corruption in the way the FBI politicized their work, lying to the FISA court in order to entrap the Trump campaign, or did that come first, or the sexual corruption within the FBI? Reports and lawsuits cite examples of skilled predator supervisor, frat house workplace, and unwanted sexual advances. This is the FBI. Now, in a lot of places, such conduct would, you could be charged. With the FBI, when this takes place, they just, look at Harvey Weinstein. Look what happened to him. He's in prison now, right? FBI, you just get dismissed. In April 2015, a senior FBI official assured Congress the Bureau had handled the sexual misconduct in the workplace. The FBI, quote, the FBI does not tolerate sexual harassment or sexual misconduct. Then Associate Director Kevin Perkins told the House Oversight Committee on Government Reform Committee and the Government Reform Committee. Less than a year later, so basically less than a year later, it hit the fan. But while he was making that statement, Peter Strzok was going after Lisa Page. And, it hit the papers less than a year later. Strzok eventually would be fired. Page would resign in a controversy over their text messages. Now, that was consensual, but the problem is the FBI, is this kind of, it was consensual, but it was wrong. Page, was Page married at the time? I know Strzok was. Their relationship was a harbinger of far more extensive problems between the men and women of the FBI workplace, which ranged from other illicit relationships to stunning cases of boorish sexual harassment by supervisors. The challenges have burst into full view in recent months with the release of several explosive investigative reports by the Justice Department Inspector General. The latest came Thursday, revealing an FBI assistant director violated agency policy by failing to timely report a romantic relationship with a subordinate. Yeah, part of that just sort of hits you sort of an oddball way. Would you expect, if you're having an illicit relationship with a subordinate, according to our guidelines, you need to report that. According to your guidelines, you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So do you think they're going to report it? Inspector General Michael Horowitz noted the romance involved more than rules infraction. It disrupted the workplace. Horowitz found that the relationship negatively affected an appropriate and professional superior-subordinate relationship and to disrupt the workplace by interfering with the ability of FBI employees to complete their work. Yeah, if you're fooling around, you're not getting your work done. The case has been referred to the Agency of Office of Professional Responsibility. Back in April, Horowitz released a stunning investigative report revealing that a senior FBI supervisor sexually harassed 8 female subordinates. Again, this is what Harvey Weinstein is going to prison for. In one of the Bureau's most egregious known cases of sexual misconduct, the supervisor was allowed to retire and no further punishment, despite findings that his colleagues found him to be a skilled predator who touched female employees inappropriately and solicited one for sex in a conference room. The report described one female employee who told investigators she gave in to the sexual relationship demands of the boss because she feared for her career. The Associated Press late last year reported it had identified at least 6 cases of sexual assault or harassment by FBI supervisors, including an assistant FBI director who retired after he was accused of drunkenly groping a female subordinate in a stairwell, and a high-ranking FBI agent who was accused of blackmailing a young employee and doing sexual encounters. Last month, an FBI agent in Louisiana was arrested and charged with sexual misconduct against juveniles under the age of 13. Also last month, a female FBI agent in Las Vegas filed a federal lawsuit alleging her office operated like a boozed-up frat house where a male superior solicited her for sex. FBI Supervisor Special Agent Karen Veltri alleged in the suit that she was sexually harassed by 2 supervisors, then retaliated against when she reported them. In March, the FBI agreed to pay $1.2 million settlement to a current female FBI agent whose lawsuit alleged she was harassed and retaliated against by a squad of male colleagues. And in January, Horowitz disclosed federal prosecutors declined charges against an FBI assistant special agent in charge after a probe confirmed he had engaged in unwanted physical sexual contact with another FBI agent after hours FBI social function, and previously made unwanted physical contact with 2 other FBI employees. While the Bureau's own boorish behavior has come to light, its failure to fully investigate sexual misconduct in a high-profile case was also laid bare in recent weeks. Horowitz released a report in July that concluded that the FBI made fundamental errors investigating sexual abuse allegations against that USA Gymnast National Dr. Larry Nassar. As a result, they basically figured out if they had gone after him quickly, there would have been 40 less women who were molested as a result, but they didn't. The FBI has acknowledged its failures, saying it was inexcusable and a discredit. You know, they always say that, and yet nothing gets done. I mean, how many years back did Christopher Wray say, "Oh, yeah, we're taking care of it, and these kind of things will never happen again"? Look, well, I don't know any inside details, but it would certainly appear that Christopher Wray needs to go. It seems likely that the problems were there, however, before he arrived. Gee, who would that be? Oh, James Comey, yeah. So James Comey, this whole thing fell apart under his watch. How ironic that he had the ability to pull off this Boy Scout persona while Sexgate was brewing under his watch. What makes it even more pronounced, this is cut 1, Michael, what makes it even more pronounced is, now, I don't know that Donald Trump knew all this illicit sexual scandal stuff that was happening at the FBI, but he did know that they came after him, which was, I mean, maybe if they had been doing their job and not fooling around and paying attention to what needs to be paid attention to, that the FBI would not have become a frat house. And under Comey, they turned the premier crime-fighting organization in the world into what it is today, which ain't good. But this is what Comey said about Donald Trump when Donald Trump pointed the spotlight at James Comey's FBI.
So another day of Hillary Clinton's emails and the Steele dossier. This while the President of the United States is lying about the FBI, attacking the FBI, and attacking the rule of law in this country. How does that make any sense at all? Republicans used to understand that the actions of a president matter, the words of a president matter, the rule of law matters, and the truth matters. Where are those Republicans today? People who know better, including Republican members of this body, have to have the courage to stand up and speak the truth, not be cowed by mean tweets or fear of their base. There is a truth, and they're not telling it. Their silence is shameful.
Wow. Their silence is shameful. There's a truth that matters. The rule of law matters. Truth matters. Yeah, it does, Comey. Yeah, it does. Unbelievable. And you had the nerve to criticize Donald Trump while all this was happening under your watch. The big Boy Scout. The big, tall, lanky Boy Scout. Unbelievable. I mean, it's sad. But this is where our society has gone. I mean, we have lost our moral compass. Totally lost it. And as a result, this is what you see. And you see corruption, everybody doing what is right in their own minds. We can take down a presidential campaign, and because we have the power, we can do it. And while we're doing it, we'll play a little hanky-panky on the side. Our moral compass is gone. Stay with us. Lots more to talk about. We'll be right back.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. It's one of my hangouts. It's one of the places that I love. I got my friend Pietro Passalacqua. How'd I do?
You did great.
Let's talk about the food. What makes this place? I know it's special Italian from authentic Italians, but tell us why it's so special.
Because everything we do, it's really what we came up on the menu from what we did at home, from my grandparents, my parents. So it's exactly what we eat at home, and that's the way we cook. That's why it's special.
And the atmosphere in this place is special also. From the bar to the two dining areas. You got two different dining areas, and now the weather's nice, so there's going to be a lot of folks that want to eat outside.
Yeah, we have two rooms. One room is designed a little different. We're also working on the patio to make it more attractive and more useful in the summer with a cocktail service. And we're always improving our services.
And, of course, my friends here, my buddy, Chef Massimo, who I love, and Sal and Pietro, you guys do a great job here. Not just Italian, but I had a great pork chop here the other night. You got great steaks, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're also adding filet mignon in the future on our menu. And Massimo is coming out with a really good side dishes for it. And so we're really excited to come out with new meats and fish dishes.
All right, Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Same people that give you Marabello's and the great pizza that you get at Marabello's, but this is fine dining at Nino's. If you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. Come see them at Nino's on Red Banks Road. And Pietro, what is that famous saying about Nino's?
The food that you enjoy with people that you love.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it's not just, it might not be just such a simple, you know?
Sharing certain information is perfect for the Drive at 5 with Tom and Beanie.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
News now and when it breaks, with lots of blathering in between.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about.
Welcome back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
5 minutes past the top of the hour. A chance of thunderstorms tonight. 50% chance. You might get up to a half inch of rain depending where you are in the eastern NC. Tomorrow, more chance of rain. Again, 50% chance of rain with a high near 89 and more tomorrow night with a low around 75. 50% chance of rain now through pretty much Wednesday morning. So you want to hear something really, really funny? I mean, this is really funny. Town Hall is reporting congressional Democrats alongside Republican never-Trumpers Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger will hold their first January 6th commission hearing on Capitol Hill tomorrow morning. Last week, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi removed Republican Study Committee Chairman Jim Banks and Judiciary Committee Ranking Member Jim Jordan from the commission for the sake of bipartisanship. Now, Pelosi is shamelessly claiming the commission will not be done in a partisan way after allowing Democrats Adam Schiff and Jamie Raskin to remain on board. Here is Queen Nancy from earlier today.
I do believe that the work of this committee, in order to retain the confidence of the American people, must act in a way that has no partisanship, is all about patriotism. And I'm very proud of the members of the committee, and I'm certain that they will accomplish that goal. We have to, again, ignore the antics of those who do not want to find the truth. We will find the truth. That truth will have the confidence of the American people because it will be done patriotically and not in a partisan way.
Oh, yeah. How she can say that with a straight face is beyond the pale. So, I mean, think about that. I mean, bad enough that she's kicked off Banks and Jim Jordan. And shame on Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger for staying on this committee. The anti-never-Trumpers. I hope, Liz Cheney at one point I thought was a sincere conservative. I've never really been a Adam Kinzinger fan or followed his career, whatever that career amounts to. But Liz Cheney, shame on you. I hope you get waxed in the next congressional election out there in Wyoming. So those two get kicked off, and Liz and Adam stay on. And again, Kevin McCarthy said he was going to pull all his guys off, but Liz and Adam, they're hanging in there. So much for being diehard Republicans. Go ahead and join the Democrats. I mean, you're already over there anyway. Just go ahead and switch your party affiliation. You ought to run as Democrats. But consider this: you got two Democrats that are on there, and they're going to be they're patriots. They're patriots. I mean, you got Adam Schiff, who for the entire 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency worked against Donald Trump, lied about things, and even after the Mueller report came out and Adam Schiff was shown to be a fool, he still wouldn't give it up. And then you've got Congressman Raskin. They're all these anti-Trumpers that wouldn't accept the election. This was a term. Raskin, when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump in 2016, he got up on the floor of the Congress and he didn't want to certify. He moved to not certify certain electoral votes for Donald Trump because I don't even remember what the reason was, but he was turned down because no senator would sign on to his petition. But there he was with Sheila Jackson Lee and all the other left-wingers. So Schiff and Raskin will remain on this bipartisan, patriotic committee that are just seeking the truth. That's all we want, is to seek the truth. Nancy, you are a joke. You are a joke. And the American people know you're a joke. I mean, conservatives, constitutionalists, libertarians, I mean, if they're on your side and they're in one of those parties, they ought to go ahead and be honest and leave the party and join the Democrats and independents for that matter. But even the Democrats know you're full of it. We just want to seek the truth. That's all we want to do. Journalist Glenn Greenwald has shared a new poll out of Detroit, Michigan, which really rips a hole in the narrative from certain media elites who have tried to paint the police as systemically racist or suggest they should be defunded. By the way, I mentioned last week a story from the Free Beacon, which, looking for here real quick, George Soros has given $1 million to a group that their main goal is to bail out violent criminals and to defund the police. He has given, back on May the 14th, it was just reported, it just came out in the quarterly reports, but he gave $1 million to the organization Color of Change PAC. We talked about this a little bit last week. So, I mean, there's, if you wonder where George Soros is on that, there's George and his money. But now, if you looked at the media, if you listen to the media, if you listen to all the left-wing nut jobs, you're going to think that at least the vast majority of people who would live in downtown Detroit would be overwhelmingly in favor of defunding the police, right? Which is what Black Lives Matter is all about, that Marxist group. By an overwhelming 9-1, that's the ratio, 9-1, those polls said they would feel safer with more cops on the street, not fewer. This is a USA Today, Suffolk University, Detroit Free Press poll. Did a poll of inner-city Detroit residents. Those surveys rejected by 3-1 the slogan of some progressives to defund the police. So 3-1 they reject it. 9-1 they say I feel safer with more police on the streets. So even a bunch of those people in the 3-1 category that reject the defund the police slogan would go ahead and still admit that I feel more safe if there's more police on the street. 1 in 5 residents in the city whose congressional representation includes Tlaib cited public safety as the biggest issue facing the city at 19%. Only education was higher at 23%. These are staggering new poll numbers and constitutes evidence of how wide the gap is between the discourse of the media elites and those questions that everybody else is answering. Greenwald cited figures from the poll that showed black residents in Detroit care more about stopping. Now, this is really interesting. Pay attention to this line, because if you were to listen to the media narrative, if you were listening to the Squad, or for that matter, Nancy Pelosi and her ilk, you would think the opposite. And this is probably just your suspicions confirmed. I mean, we've got a lot of black listeners to this program. And, consistently, these statistics from Detroit, the city of Detroit, fall in line with our listeners, our black listeners. Black residents, Greenwald cited figures from the poll that showed black residents in Detroit care more about stopping violent crime than they do about reforming police, while white residents care more about reforming the police. Again, it's white liberals that are pushing this garbage. Black residents rank crime at the top of their list of concerns. 24% cited public safety, and just 3% named police reform as their top concern. 24% said public safety is my top concern. 3% police reform. White residents, 12% police reform. 10% education. Those are their top. 10% was public safety. 12% police reform. 10% public safety. 31% said education. In April, MSNBC's Joy Reid told viewers it's very difficult to trust police officers when it came to the fatal shooting of the 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant in Columbus, Ohio, which that police officer was totally vindicated of. He saved the life of the other girl that Ma'Khia Bryant was getting ready to stab. And the other young lady happened to be black. It is interesting that according to a new Gallup poll, The only group in their polling that actually saw an increase in the confidence of the public from 2020 to 2021 was the police. Confidence by the public in the police increased 48% to 51%, a plus 3%. Every other category saw decline. Public schools declined 9%. Medical system declined 7%. Isn't that interesting? Normally the medical profession always gets high marks. Gee, what happened in 2020 and 2021? Oh, yeah, COVID. Forgot about that. Small businesses, -5. Organized religion, -5. That's interesting. Banks, -5. Supreme Court, -4. Criminal justice system, -4. Military, -3. Technology, -3. That surprises only -3. Organized labor, -3. Newspapers, -3. Television news, -2. The presidency, -1. Big business, -1. Congress, -1. The police. Now, some of these, I'm just giving you the difference from 2020 to 2021. Some of these things were pretty low to begin with. I mean, Congress approval in 2020 was only 13%, and it declined to 12%. So, I mean, it was already low to begin with. Small business, on the other hand, was pretty high. They were up 75% confidence approval from the public down to 70%. So I'm just giving you the difference. But the police, of all those groups, the police were the only ones to see their numbers increase. Interesting. So the narrative you hear from MSNBC and CNN and the Squad and Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Schumer and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it's a load of garbage. There's a lot more people thinking like you're thinking, whether they're black or white, whether they live in the country or they live in the city. They want police protection. We got to take another time out. Stay with us. When we get back, another story on this electric bus company, Proterra. They're going up in flames. We'll have that when we get back.
Break the chain. Eat local. Tiebreakers.
Hey, this is Hank Hinton back here at Full Service Flooring in Winterville. I'm here today with Corey Little, who's the operations manager here at Full Service Flooring. Corey's been here 6 months, but you've been in construction a long time. Tell us about what you do here at Full Service Flooring.
Yeah, I got over here about 6 months ago. I've been in construction for, like I said, a little over 20 years, and I've known Tim for a long time now, and he's brought me over here to see what new kind of things I can bring to the store and to our customers. And I'm in charge of scheduling, and I don't know what else. I'm in charge of everything. It seems like we work together as a team and try to pull it all together. I might do a measure one day and do a commercial floor the next day, but we just kind of all work together and pull it all together at one time.
So what's new in flooring? What is the hot new thing?
The hot new thing is LVP or LVT, depending on what you're looking for, which look you're looking for. It's a waterproof product. It's absolutely fantastic. You can't really beat it.
A lot cheaper than hardwoods?
It is definitely a cost-effective alternative to hardwoods, yes, sir.
So, Corey, how is business right now?
And business is good. Despite the pandemic, we're still seeing a lot of new customers in the store, and we get an opportunity to introduce our products in a lot of different situations right now.
Corey, you've got a lot of experience in the construction industry. How is that helping you here with people, helping people with flooring here at Full Service Flooring?
Sure. I try to take the experiences that I've gained over my time in construction to help apply that to the flooring, whether it be with what the structure is made out of, the subfloor that we're going over top of, or maybe even just how it coordinates with your kitchen cabinets in construction or in your bathroom and how the tub and everything all ties together.
And a customer can just come here and see you anytime?
Absolutely. We're here 6 days a week, and we just love to see a new customer in here anytime. They can always call us and schedule something with us so we can make sure we have our time allotted for them.
Corey, thank you so much. That's Corey Little here at Full Service Flooring. Come see these guys. They're on Tilco Drive in Winterville, 756-9308 and FullServiceFlooring.com.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
A collection of question marks.
A lot of questions.
Why? No logic, no reason, no explanation. Just a prolonged nightmare.
Worst nightmare of their lives.
This long nationwide nightmare. We'll start collecting clues as to the whys, the whats, and the wheres.
Neighborhood by neighborhood. Literally knocking on doors.
This is your worst nightmare.
The nightmare will be a nightmare.
Worst nightmare. We will not end the nightmare. We'll only explain it. Because this
is News and Views with Tom and Benny on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. So we're talking about the Olympics at the beginning of the program. You've seen, no doubt, the stories about the biological male from New Zealand, the weightlifter, decided he wanted to become the ugliest woman in the world, which he probably would qualify, except he's not really a woman. But, yeah, he's now lifting weights for New Zealand in the Olympics. Oh, yeah, he'll win. I mean, it's not even close. Which is another reason why people aren't watching the Olympics, is we're not watching real fair competition when this kind of garbage happens. Interestingly, though, Axios did a poll, and 39% of the people in the poll say transgender athletes should compete against others of the gender of which they were assigned at birth. 20% say they should compete against others of the gender they identify with. Now, that leaves a pretty broad, undecided margin. Interestingly, Democrats were this is expected. Democrats were the group most willing to allow transgender athletes to choose the gender with which they compete, but that number was only 35%. So, 8% of Republicans and 18% of independents shared that opinion. It's hard to believe that there would be 8% of Republicans, but I guess. Where Americans disagree seems to be where the transgender athletes fit in. Around 40% of respondents say transgender athletes should compete against others of their biological gender. Republicans were the most likely to favor this argument, with 60% of GOP members supporting it. Anyway, getting too far in the weeds. But this is why people aren't going to watch the. And you talk. And I thought Democrats were all about the war on women and how terrible that was, and yet you're going to have a biological male come in who has certain issues that he can't figure out who he is, or he just wants to be in the news. Free Beacon is reporting on that electric bus company, Proterra. Now, if you remember, Joe Biden's energy secretary, Jennifer Granholm, was a big cheese on the board of directors of Proterra. Also remember that Joe Biden was all about Proterra. This is the thing of the future, we were told. He's talked about how this electric bus company is all about mass transportation, and this is the thing of the future. Well, I think it was last week or the week before that I mentioned up in Philadelphia. By the way, these buses sell for about $800,000 a piece. In Philadelphia, they've basically taken all 25 of their buses offline, because they're only getting about 35 miles per charge. And yeah, the bus route is a little longer than that. It can't navigate up and down the hills because the batteries don't have enough power. And the chassis, the batteries are so heavy, the chassis of the buses are cracking. Now, I don't know what the chassis are made of. They must be made of plastic or something. No, they're probably made of soybean product, right? Duluth, Minnesota, buses were taken offline because they couldn't handle the hills. The brakes couldn't handle the hills. And now in Los Angeles, we've got the trifecta. in Los Angeles, the buses are catching on fire. One of the buses, as they were recharging it, caught on fire, and so now they've taken out all their buses. And they also had problems with the buses having pieces of the interior couldn't withstand the heat from the outside, and so they had pieces of plastic melting, and they had pieces of plastic losing their shape because of the heat. But these are the buses of the future. Now, what's interesting is, so you spend $25 million, Philadelphia spent $25 million of the taxpayers' money, and they can't run any of the buses. So they're going back to the gas buses. In Los Angeles, they've got natural gas buses. They're running fine. But these buses of the future, not so much. Just the News is reporting a student in Sartell St. Stephen School District up in St. Cloud, Minnesota, is speaking out after the school required grade school children to take an equity survey. Now, it was bad enough they did the survey. I mean, what does this have to do with reading and writing and arithmetic? An equity survey. Yeah, this is all part of CRT, which they're not teaching. They told us, we're not teaching critical race theory. What are you talking about? But they went ahead and took the survey. But the kids couldn't understand some of the questions. I mean, why are you giving this to elementary school kids? Some of the kids didn't understand the question, and they wanted to ask their parents. Well, there's one young lady, Haley Yazgar, fourth grade student. She said, my teacher said that I could not skip any question even when I didn't understand them. One question asked us what gender we identify with. I was very confused with a lot of other classmates. She said students were told they could not repeat any of the questions to any of our parents. The school district has not responded for comment. Being asked to hide from this from my mom made me very uncomfortable. It was like I was doing something wrong. Good for you, young lady. You ought to feel that way. And shame on these school districts. I mean, how dare they? Don't tell anything to your parents. I mean, how many parents? In fact, I saw an interview with this, the mother and this little girl, and her mom and dad taught her that if anybody ever tells you something and it's followed up by, but don't tell your parents, you immediately come and tell your parents, which is what she did. Kudos to the young lady and kudos to her parents. They don't want their cover blown. They're going around saying, oh, no, we don't teach critical race theory. But don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents you're taking the survey. We've got to take another time out. Stay with us. More to come. News and views for a Monday. We'll be right back.
Got a trade? Now's the time at Greenville Toyota. Never in history has your trade been worth more. Get paid today. Then get a new Toyota hot off the delivery truck. Hurry before they're gone. Like Camrys, $189 a month. Rush to Greenville Toyota.
Anything could happen ever since I met you.
Introducing Pepsi Mango.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment Learn more about COVID-19 and Biden's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit bidenthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
This one's for everyone who spends the amount of time it would take to watch a movie, agreeing on which movie to watch. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Toyota shoppers, now's the time at Greenville Toyota. Shipments of factory fresh Toyotas are arriving daily and being sold almost immediately, like Corollas for $159 a month. Get yours before they're gone. Now's the time. Rush to Greenville Toyota.
I won't give up the ship.
Talking about what matters.
This country is too great to throw over to communism. I love it.
Here's Tom Lamprecht with more news and views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
That genius, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, says he wants to abolish the U.S. incarceration system during a campaign event in Ohio for candidate Nina Turner. Quote, I want to abolish our incarceration system that's designed to trap black and brown men, the socialist said at the rally. Quote, I just want justice. I just want peace. I want prosperity. That's all I want. She's easy. Yeah, and what did that poll say that I read earlier in the program? Those black and brown citizens want police protection. That's their number one thing. Free Beacon is reporting CNN is launching a direct-to-consumer subscription streaming service early next year. Nobody watches it when it's free. It's free and they don't have any viewers. And now they're going to put together something that you can pay for if you want to watch it. Yeah, they're going to watch Jeffrey Toobin. You got to figure that one out yourself. PJ Media is reporting that a Senate subcommittee on government operations and border management committee on homeland security and government affairs states that the Biden administration is spending $3 million a day not to build the wall. Now, money well spent. $3 million a day not to build the wall. They've already spent between $1.8 billion and $2.8 billion to not build the wall. $3 million a day. On his first day in office, Biden stopped construction. The pause was supposed to be for 60 days while I figured things out. Of course, Joe figuring something out, that might be a stretch. The Republican report discovered that the work secession initially cost $6 million a day. That amount has now been reduced. Hey, this is a government savings program. We've reduced it from $6 million to $3 million. We ought to really feel good about this. Joe's really doing a good job saving us money. U.S. Customs and Border Protecting Acting Commissioner Mark Morgan reported in December of 2020 that the work stoppage would cost billions. Biden did it anyway. The Biden administration is paying contractors at least $3 million a day to guard steel, concrete, and other materials in the desert. At the same time, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency has encountered over 1.1 million migrants along the southwest border this fiscal year, a 20-year high. And I got to have 60 days to figure out whether or not it's a good idea to put up the wall. Wow. James Langford from Oklahoma said, it's absolutely absurd that the American people, taxpayers, are paying contractors to guard metal gates that Biden refuses to install because he wants to study the wall. Whew. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris has been telling us all the way back to when she was running for president, then when she was running for VP, and she's been saying it since she's been VP. She's been saying it since she was the czar, the border czar, whatever that means. She's been telling us over and over again that the reason illegals are crossing our borders is because they're seeking asylum. Things are so bad in their country that they have to seek asylum here. According to the Washington Examiner, a new study has come out, and the bulk of single adults trying to cross the U.S.-Mexican border do not want asylum. Instead, they want to sneak by undetected. In just the El Paso sector, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection said that 77% of illegal immigrants are trying to evade capture. That number is historic. More than 77% of primary demographics apprehended are single adults attempting to evade arrest. At the El Paso sector, just this year alone, they've confiscated 5,000 pounds of marijuana, more than 600 pounds of meth, more than 300 pounds of cocaine, more than 40 pounds of fentanyl, and more than 30 pounds of heroin. But they just want to look for asylum. They just want a safe haven. Granted, I understand some want a better life, but let's do it legally, shall we? Hey, thanks for being with us. We'll do it again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
We're on location at Fabric and Home Furnishings, and I'm back with my friend Lisa Pendry. And Lisa's been telling me about all the great renovations that have been going on here in the store, and I've been looking around, and it looks fantastic. Tell us what you've done here.
Well, we've knocked some walls down, we've painted, we've added some new vendors, lots of new exciting things going on. So we're making room for everybody to get what they need to transform their homes.
Looks fantastic in here. Last time we talked, you were saying that you were able to deliver a lot faster than most other furniture stores. Is that still the case?
It is. It's changed a little bit, but we're still looking at around 8 to 10 week delivery, and we do sell our floor samples right off the floor.
All right, we always say that Fabric and Home Furnishings is more than just a fabric store, so tell us what the more is all about. What when people come in, what should they expect?
Well, we love to get to know our customers. I have the best crew I've ever had, and everybody on my team is an interior designer. So we offer in-home design service, which we always have, but now they can each come out to your home after they work with you in here, figure out what's going on in your residence or your commercial property to pull it together and help you make everything beautiful.
You got great folks here.
I do.
I can tell you, I haven't gotten to know them. It's like a family when you come in here, and everybody gets along well, and you can tell that these guys and gals really know what they're talking about when it comes to interior design.
They do, and that's really what makes us different. We offer complete in-home design service. We don't charge a by-the-hour fee. It's a flat one-time fee. We work with you in here, in your home, in your business, and help pull everything together.
All right, it's more than just a fabric store. Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village. Come see this lady. She's fantastic. Fabric and Home Furnishings. Come see the renovations here in Arlington Village. And thank you for the visit today.
Thank you, Henry.
All right, you got to come see what they've done in the store here on Arlington Boulevard in Arlington Village.